Level 1. The storefront. You're 23 and you fold shirts at a retail store for $12 an hour. 8-hour shifts. Fluorescent lights that make everything the same shade of gray. You owe $11,000 in credit card debt from a semester of college you paid for and a semester of life you couldn't afford. Your car has 214,000 miles on it, and the transmission slips when it rains, and the mechanic said $1,200 to fix it, and $1,200 is 5 weeks of take-home pay before rent. You watch a YouTube ad at 2 a.m. A guy in a rented house with a rented car talking about how he makes $10,000 a month selling products online without ever touching inventory. Dropshipping. You've heard the word. Buy cheap from a supplier in China. List it on your own website at a markup. When someone orders, the supplier ships direct. You never see the product. You never touch the product. You just build the store and collect the margin. You build your first store in a weekend. A free website template. Stock photos. You sell phone cases, portable chargers, LED strip lights, cheap things that feel like impulse buys. You run $40 in ads on social media. 2 sales the first week. $31 in revenue. After ad costs and product costs, you made $6.40. But the structure works. Someone clicked. Someone paid. Someone trusted a website that didn't exist 72 hours ago. That's the part that matters. Not the $6. The trust. The phone cases arrive 3 weeks late. One customer complains. The other doesn't. You refund the one who complains, and you learn something. Most people don't complain. Most people absorb a $15 loss and move on with their lives. You build a second store. This one sells fitness equipment, resistance bands, yoga mats, up rollers. Same structure, same Chinese supplier. But this time you mark up higher. A resistance band set that costs $3 from the supplier listed at $39.99 on your site. The photos look professional because the supplier provides professional photos. The brand name is something you invented in 10 minutes. 3 weeks and you have a problem. 7 orders. For shipped. 3 the supplier never fulfilled because the product went out of stock and nobody told you. 3 customers paid for products that will never arrive. You have their money. They have nothing. You could refund them. You think about it. You think about $12 an hour and the transmission that slips in the rain. You don't refund them. You send an email that says your order is being processed, and you wait. 2 of the 3 don't follow up. 1 files a chargeback with her credit card company. You lose the sale plus a $20 chargeback fee. But you kept the other 2. $58 for doing nothing. For shipping nothing. The math changes. Your mom asks how the retail job is going. You tell her you're starting a small business on the side. Online sales. She says that's smart. She says she always knew you had a head for business. She doesn't know what dropshipping means. She just knows her son is trying, and trying is enough for her. 2 months. $1,400. You still fold shirts for $12 an hour. The $12 is the foundation. The $1,400 is the scaffolding. You're building something. You just haven't decided what yet. Level 2. The tracking number. The trick isn't selling products. The trick is selling the appearance of products. You learn this in month 3 when you discover that shipping a package with a valid tracking number to the correct city, but the wrong zip code shows as delivered in the carrier's system. Delivered. The customer calls the carrier. The carrier says delivered. The customer disputes with their bank. The bank sees a delivered status and sides with the seller. You keep the money. The customer has nothing. You didn't invent this. Dion showed you. Dion doesn't work at the retail store. Dion runs 6 stores that sell products that sometimes exist and sometimes don't. Dion buys empty tracking numbers in bulk from a guy who has access to a shipping label printer. $4 per tracking number. Each tracking number shows movement. Picked up. In transit. Delivered. A ghost package traveling across the country arriving at an address that isn't the customer's. You stop shipping real products entirely. Every order gets a tracking number. Every tracking number shows delivered. 90% of customers don't dispute. The 10% who do lose the dispute because the tracking says delivered. You win both ways. You build 7 stores in 2 months. Different names. Different products. Pet supplies. Kitchen gadgets. Kids' toys. Home decor. Skincare. Each store runs for 4 to 6 weeks before the chargebacks pile up and the payment processor shuts it down. Then you open a new one. New name. New bank account. New processor. Same system. You quit the retail store. Your manager asks why. You say e-commerce opportunity. She says good luck. You mean it when you say thanks because the luck isn't in the business. The luck is in not getting caught. 12 to 20,000 a month. You move into a one-bedroom apartment. You buy furniture. You fix the transmission. $1,200. Cash. The mechanic asks where you work. You say online retail, which is a sentence that contains no lies and describes a crime. You pay cash for everything because cash doesn't generate statements and statements generate questions. You drive the same car because a new car invites attention and attention invites investigation. The only visible change is that the tension is gone. The $12 an hour tension. The rent is due tension. The transmission slips in the rain tension. It's gone, and what replaced it is a different kind of tension that nobody can see. You open 3 bank accounts at 3 different banks. One for deposits, one for expenses, one for cash you can't explain. The fact that you need 3 accounts for money that came from one scheme should tell you something. It tells you nothing. The revenue is too loud for the warning to get through. Your mom visits the new apartment. She walks around and touches the countertop and opens the fridge and says you're doing good. She asks about the business. You show her one of your store websites on your laptop. It looks real. Professional photos. Customer reviews you wrote yourself. A return policy you have no intention of honoring. She says it looks great. She says her son is a businessman. You close the laptop when she goes to the bathroom because the email inbox next to the store has 47 unread messages from customers asking where their orders are. You set up auto-reply emails. Every customer inquiry gets an immediate response. Your order is being processed. Please allow 10 to 15 business days. We apologize for the delay. A customer can send 9 follow-up emails and receive 9 variations of the same non-answer generated automatically. Most people give up by email 4. The ones who don't give up file chargebacks. The chargebacks cost you $20 each. The orders averaged $55. You're still ahead. 8 months. $74,000. You've never shipped a single product in 3 months. Not one. Every dollar came from a tracking number attached to an empty route and a customer who gave up. Level 3. The catalog. You're 24 and you run 15 stores. You don't build them yourself anymore. You pay a freelancer in the Philippines $200 per store. Template. Products. Photos. Copy. Reviews. Shipping policy. Refund policy. The whole thing done in 48 hours. You provide the payment processing and the tracking numbers and the auto replies. The freelancer doesn't know the products never ship. Or maybe he does. He never asks. Dion runs 3 of the stores under your payment processing. He takes 60% of whatever his stores bring in. You take 40 for providing the infrastructure. Dion is good at ads. He knows which thumbnails get clicks. He knows which words trigger impulse purchases. Limited stock. Only 2 left. Sale ends tonight. The urgency is fake. The scarcity is fake. The product is fake. But the click-through rate is real, and the credit card numbers are real, and the revenue is real. You've moved beyond impulse buys. The stores now sell mid-range products. Bluetooth speakers. Weighted blankets. Air purifiers. Massage guns. Products that cost between $40 and $120. Products that people need and research and trust enough to buy from a store they found through a social media ad. Your ad spend is $8,000 a month across all 15 stores. Your gross revenue is $60,000 to $90,000. After ad costs and tracking number purchases and the freelancer and the payment processing fees, your net is $35,000 to $50,000 a month. You don't think about the customers anymore. You think about conversion rates, click-through percentages, average order value, chargeback ratios. The language of legitimate business applied to a business where the product doesn't exist. You've built a machine that converts trust into revenue, and you measure its efficiency the same way a real company would. One of your stores sells baby monitors. You added it because baby products have high trust and low dispute rates. Parents buying safety equipment for their children don't file chargebacks quickly because they assume the delay is the shipping company. They wait. They give the benefit of the doubt. They give you 3 weeks of benefit that you don't deserve because their baby is sleeping and the monitor would make them feel safer and they trust that it's coming. It isn't coming. A customer sends an email that gets past the auto-reply. She replies to the auto-reply with a paragraph. She says she's a first-time mother. She says her baby sleeps in a room down the hall and she can't hear him from the bedroom. She says she ordered the monitor 3 weeks ago. She says, please. The email sits in the inbox between 2 auto-generated chargeback notifications. You read it. You don't respond. You close the laptop and you go for a drive, and you come back and the email is still there and you still don't respond. You buy your mom a new dryer for Christmas. Her old one broke in September and she'd been air drying clothes on a rack in the living room for 3 months. You have it delivered and installed before she gets home from work. She walks in and sees it and opens the door and touches the drum and closes it and presses start and listens to it run, and she stands there in the laundry closet listening to a machine that works. She calls you that night and says you didn't have to do that. You say I wanted to. She says the marketing business must be doing well. You say it is. The dryer cost $480. Your November take was $43,000. The dryer is 1.1%. She asks what exactly you sell. You say digital products, subscriptions, software tools. You add detail because detail makes lies feel true, and you know that better than anyone because detail is what makes your fake stores feel real. She says she doesn't really understand it, but she's proud. She tells her coworkers her son runs an online business. The coworkers ask for the website. She says she'll ask you. She never does. You're grateful she never does. The complaints are getting louder. Not to you, to the internet. Someone creates a Reddit thread titled "Has anyone ordered from?" followed by the name of your biggest store. The thread has 87 comments. Not one person received their product. Screenshots of the auto-reply emails. Screenshots of the tracking numbers showing delivered to addresses that aren't theirs. Someone posts a photo of the address the tracking says delivered to. It's a gas station. Your tracking number delivered a ghost package to a gas station in a city your customer has never visited. You shut that store down the same night. But the thread stays up, and the thread links to 2 of your other stores. And those threads grow. A YouTube channel that reviews scam websites makes a video about one of your stores. The video gets 40,000 views in a week. The comments section is full of people saying they lost money. Full of people saying they feel stupid. They're not stupid. Your store looked real because you paid $200 to make it look real, and $200 buys a lot of trust on the internet. The Better Business Bureau has received 114 complaints across your stores. You didn't know the BBB tracked complaints. You didn't know complaints created patterns. You didn't know patterns had investigators. Level 4. The link. Your mom texts you on a Thursday afternoon. She sends a link. She says she found a store online selling a weighted blanket that's supposed to help with sleep. She hasn't been sleeping well since your grandmother passed in August. She asks if the site looks legit. She asks because her son works in online retail and he would know. You click the link. The site loads. Professional photos. 5-star reviews. A clean return policy. Free shipping banner at the top. A weighted blanket listed at $69.99. You recognize the template. You recognize the font. You recognize the review format because you wrote the template the freelancer uses. You scroll down. You check the product descriptions. You check the checkout flow. You check the shipping policy. It's one of your stores. Store 11. The home goods store. Your product photos. Your fake reviews. Your auto-reply system. Your tracking numbers that deliver to gas stations. Your mom is about to become customer 413. You type back, "Looks sketchy, mom. I wouldn't order from there." She says, "Really?" She says the reviews look good. You wrote the reviews. Every single one. 5 stars. Best blanket I've ever owned. Shipped fast. You wrote those words on a Tuesday morning while 47 customers were waiting for products that would never come. She says okay. She says she'll find another one. She sends a smiley face. She trusts you because you work in online retail and you would know. And you do know. You know better than anyone alive. You shut down store 11 that night. Then 12. Then 13. All 15. Every auto-reply. Every tracking number. Every ad. Every fake review. You shut it all down in 4 hours, and the laptop screen goes dark and the apartment gets quiet. The money stops. You have $116,000 across 3 bank accounts and no income and no stores. You get a job at a warehouse the following week. $13 an hour. You scan boxes. Real boxes. Real products. Real addresses. Real people on the other end waiting for something they paid for. Every box you scan is a promise someone is keeping. You couldn't keep the promise. This company does. Your mom calls you on a Sunday. She says she found a weighted blanket at a department store. She went in person. She touched it. She bought it with her debit card at a register from a real cashier in a real store. She says it's heavy and warm, and she slept 7 hours for the first time since August. You say, "That's great, Mom." She asks how the marketing business is going. You say you're taking a break. She says that's okay. She says sometimes you have to try a few things before you find the right one. She doesn't know that the right one is the warehouse. $13 an hour. Scanning boxes that actually contain what they say they contain. The dryer is still in her laundry closet. She still uses it every day. She doesn't know where the money came from. She just knows her son bought her a dryer that works, and that's the kind of thing a good son does. Nobody caught you. The FTC never knocked. The FBI never came. You walked away. You shut it down before the pattern became an indictment. But your mom almost ordered a weighted blanket from a website you built to steal from people like her. And that's the thing that stopped you. Not the Reddit threads. Not the BBB complaints. Not the frozen accounts. Your mom. One link. One text. One smiley face. The dryer still runs. Your mom sleeps with the blanket she bought at a real store. The tracking numbers are all dead. 412 people never got what they paid for. You did. You got out. That's not justice. That's math. And the math doesn't care who your mom is.